What's going on, YouTube? This is Boxingwave. This is gonna be a quick video, kind of random. Uh, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm very excited about the sport right now. You know, I I saw the press conference with Terrence Crawford against Israel Madrimov, and I see that these cards are not going anywhere anytime soon. Like this is, when we got the Day of Reckoning card, I was like, this is amazing, because we're getting a lot of fighters and we getting the promoters to work with each other, and a lot of fighters that we didn't think would be on the same card were on a card together, you know. And since then, it's been consistent. We are in April, and from back in December all the way up into August, at least I know that we're consistently getting good cards with fighters from all around the world with different promoters that normally fight on different networks. And I'm really excited and I'm really, really motivated. I'm going to be honest. There was a period where in the last 3 or 4 years, probably since the year of COVID, where I was a little unsure on where this channel was going to go, and there were periods that I didn't know where like fit in this YouTube thing, this YouTube boxing community. And what I mean by that is because there there was an emergence of a lot of troll content creators. There was a lot of gossip content creators, and I felt like they were winning, you know? And that's no hate, listen, make your money, do what you got to do. But it felt like the gossip was the priority here on YouTube. It didn't seem like a lot of the channels that put out really quality content. I didn't feel like those channels, including myself, was really winning. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of you guys like to come here and leave comments like, oh, you should have more subscribers and stuff like that. Well, I know why I don't have more subscribers, because of the long periods and breaks that I take from YouTube sometimes. Because I think quality content doesn't win. And I'm not going to name any channels, but there are channels that I think that are consistently putting out quality content that probably should have at least 50 or 100,000 subscribers, and they don't. But it is what it is, and what I'm seeing here now is everybody's on the same page now, at least with the promoters. Still not so much with the sanctioning bodies. They're doing a little better, but only because of Turkey Al-Sheikh. I think if he can pull the right strings and get everyone on board because of this one single person, it seems like everyone is working together. And I'm looking at this, when it comes to the PBC, I tried my best over the last few years not to just completely slander them, because in the beginning, I liked the PBC's module. Like, I liked what they were trying to do. In the very beginning, they jumped on a bunch of networks and they were trying to give us fighting and boxing on national TV without the pay-per-views. And I was with it. I was very supportive of the PBC in the very beginning. And it came to a point where I don't know what it was, maybe the money ran out, and everything started becoming pay-per-view, and the quality of the fights weren't that good. And they weren't working outside of just the PBC, where everybody else would try to keep everything in-house. I think all promoters would like to keep everything in-house, but they were willing to make fights outside of their network or their brand. Whereas the PBC would do everything in their power to keep all their fighters inside, in-house. You know what I mean? But now, looking at this card coming up, you got Andy Ruiz, you got Pitbull Groves, you have David Morrell. You got all these fighters that are PBC. A lot of them are leaving. You know, a lot of them, like Jerron Ennis, used to fight on PBC cards. Andy Ruiz, you got Pitbull Cruz, you got all these guys that are jumping on other cards, Deontay Wilder. And I love it, you know, and there's no problems. We don't hear about potential fights no more. We just hear the announcement of the fight being made, and I always wanted that. But there was a time where I would take up to 6 months. I think the year of the Wilder Fury rematch, whatever year that was, maybe it was 2020, where I took a lot of time off of the channel because it was just all about arguing on who was at fault on why certain fights didn't happen. And I'm not going to lie, I've lost interest. And there were periods where I would take weeks at a time off. Yes, I'm busy outside of the channel, but it's hard to stay motivated because I don't want to just talk about gossip. I'm just not that kind of person. You know, I'm not. I don't like gossip of any type. And even though I love boxing, I don't want to sit here and argue about who's at fault about, or at least at like who's fault at why a fight didn't happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to do that. I'm not here for that. You know, when I started this channel, all I did was breakdowns, you know, and talk about potential fights and matchups and gave you predictions. And it started to become about YouTube channels dissing other YouTube channels and, you know, exposing people. I'm not into all of that. I don't talk bad about any channel. The only time I talk about other channels is when I'm showing love and trying to put other people on to certain channels. You know what I mean? And I try to stay positive. You know, when it comes to the breakdowns, I don't always get them right. I didn't even get it right this past weekend. But what I will do is at least explain on both ends, even if there is some sort of bias there, even if I'll tell you guys, this is who I want to win because I'm a fan of this fighter more than the other fighter. But what I will do is give you a good explanation on how both fighters can win the fight. I'll give you the keys to what each fighter has to do, a fair analysis of what each fighter needs to do to win the fight, even if I'm against the fighter. You know what I mean? And I'm honest. I'll tell you who I'm a fan of. I'll tell you who I want to win. But I will be fair when it comes to giving an analysis, you know. And sometimes, yeah, I could be a little biased on my actual pick. But I try my best to be fair. But this schedule coming up, especially in this month of May coming up, there's some great fights coming up, you know. And this fight coming up in August 3rd with Terence Crawford against Israel Madrimov. This card, you got guys. I feel like some of the fighters, you know, even listening to Gerald Miller today on a press conference against Andy Ruiz, I was listening to him, and, you know, I've been saying for years, I like Gerald Miller, probably some New York bias there. You know, I met him before, and we do have some mutual friends. He's from Brooklyn. And I've said for the last few years, I said, not for nothing, but this guy wouldn't be bad if he were to really focus and get in shape for a fight. And for some reason, it's guys like him that screwed up in certain fights, ruined certain fights like AJ. And getting tested positive or not coming into shape like he did against Triple D. When a guy says in a press conference, look, I have time, August 3rd, I have months to get in shape. That's all I need to do. And I've been saying this video after video that I've done on this guy. Yo, just get in shape, bro. You shouldn't be weighing over 300 pounds. You should at least weigh 290 and be solid. You would have a chance to beat any of these guys, just because of your work rate. Now, if the PEDs had something to do with your volume, then maybe you're not as good as I think you are, or the potential is there, but I won't know until I see it. And I hope he is true to himself and comes in exactly the way I think he should come in, the weight. But, I don't want to drift too much off topic. I'm excited again, and I'm motivated, and I can't, that video I did last night on Better BF and Bevo is like, yo, I'm so motivated because these fights are so good. I can't, on my free time now, I'm always just watching fights for upcoming fights. And once upon a time, I was that way. But then it got to a point where, I gotta watch these fighters fight because I have to do a video on it. And some of the fights I didn't even care for, but I have to do it for the subscribers. So I am very excited because of Turki Al-Sheikh. I think he is, what he's doing is, it's like what I would do if I had billions. If I had billions, I would do exactly what he's doing right now. Just making the fights happen. And no, I don't necessarily agree with everything. I don't agree with Isaac Cruz and Jose Valenzuela fighting for a 140 title, because I don't believe any of these guys are truly 140 fighters. The WBA goes back to what I was saying about the sanctioning bodies. Still trying to get it right with them, but this is a quality fight. I like that fight, and I love the upcoming fights overall. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see Tim Tszyu fight Virgil Ortiz. Whatever he's paying them, it's enough to make them say, you know what, I'll take the risk. I'll put my O at risk. These are tough fights, but I'll put it at risk because I'm getting paid enough to do it. And I love it. I don't know how long it's going to last. I hope it continues to last. But he's getting the promoters together. He's getting everybody together. I saw Eddie Hearn at the table, at the podium today with Terrence Crawford. And Eddie hasn't said the greatest thing about Crawford over the last couple of years. But these guys are willing to work together because of Turki Al-Sheikh, and I hope that this continues this way. And let's just say, for whatever reason, Turki is not around. I hope these promoters can get it right and continue giving us these quality fights, because now you're still going to have the trollers. You're still going to have the gossip people on making content. You're still going to have them on Twitter. But at least we're getting the quality fights instead of getting the bullshit fights. And I'm forced to talk about them because that's what's happening. That's what's being requested by supporters of the channel. I am motivated because of the quality of the fights. They're all good. And I can't wait to do more content because it's worth it now for me as a fan. Remember, I went a good amount of time, a good amount of years making content without really getting paid. And at that point, I was making more content. Sometimes you would get 5 videos a day from me. So I'm looking forward to what is coming in boxing. I hope you guys that has been here stay here, and I hope the new people stay here as well, and just look forward to what I have to bring. I will just continue doing what I do, and just giving you thorough breakdowns and analysis on the sport, and try to be unbiased the way that I could, the best way that I could. And that's it. All right. So anyway, can't wait. Look forward. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Virgil Ortiz against Tomas Delorme in that card that's coming up this weekend. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Y'all have a good night. Peace.